That is a chop cup, one of many in my possession, and the topic of our conversation today as I welcome the kindred spirits. Greetings back to school. Wow, we made it to day 5. Whew, it's been a week for me. How about you? Did you learn something? I hope so. I learned a lot, and this is one of the reasons that I did this endeavor this week, to kind of take myself out of the comfort zone. I hope you're doing the same in your regular life. That's how we improve. As you watch this stream today, I hope you find that maybe our video's a little better, maybe the audio's a little better, and some of the things that I've learned this week are improving this experience for everyone, I hope. All right, let's make sure nothing's gimped up here. We got this working. This is the chop cup, and we won't use this, but this is good. All right, hope you sound good, hope you look good. Let me start by saying this session will be brief, and it's a session that I originally planned to video. I was going to video all the parts, fancy edits, kind of like the video I did yesterday, which took about 12 hours. Hey, I hope y'all watch that thing on Where to Learn Magic. And if you didn't, go watch it and then like it so I get some algorithmic appeasement. But this process of editing and filming, it's time consuming. And guess what? I'm outsty after this stream. I'm going, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to see Lyle Lovett and his large band as I begin my birthday weekend, today. So I'm going to play hooky on y'all and skedaddle out of here early. I'm going to go see one of my favorite music artists at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. So, hey, if you're in Biloxi, I'll be in your neck of the woods later today. And I'll be enjoying a well-deserved rest after that. We're going to go party for a few days, me and my wife. We have the same birthday. All right, I'm blabbering. You probably want to hear about magic and not my well, Phoenix says happy birthday. Thank you, Phoenix. Now everyone's going to say it, and then I'm going to get sidetracked. All right, so this is the discussion. Let me round myself back in. We're talking about the chop cup, and hey, look at that. Speaking of things that improve, look at the focus. Boom, focus. Takes a second, focus back. We got our focus focused. Yeah, baby. All right, I'm going to focus on this. I wanted to start this segment with a exhibition of the chop cup. Now, I have a problem with this because I don't think it's a good trick for video viewing. I think doing what is called pocket loads, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it's bad for video. But fortunately, back in the 50s, there was a guy who thought differently. He popularized the chop cup, and we're going to take a look at him doing it right now. Let me let me check. Can you guys hear me while this is on right now? If someone could, I'm curious. I don't recall if you can hear me while the video plays, though. Hey, Lucas, this is going to be a focus stream. I'm going to ask you to email me, conjure@conjure.com. Conjure@conjure.com. Hey, Scott, good to see you, man. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment pleasure, this was, I believe, Ed Sullivan in the 1950s, and this is Don Allen, who really popularized this effect.
Good evening.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. This will only take about 22 inches. I won't drag it out if I can by something else. You know,
Yes.
This is how I got out of the Army.
I actually had to cut out a blue joke here.
Now, I'm going to play a little game, but first I will explain it so that I understand it, and then we'll play, all right?
Fine.
Good.
Okay.
All that happens is this little ball goes inside. Then I shake it up and down, turn it over, put the little ball into my pocket, and the idea is for me to sneak it back underneath, but without you seeing me do it.
Ah.
Got the idea?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Positive?
Positive.
Absolutely positive.
Uh-huh.
Good, we'll start from the beginning, because if you understand the game, you see, that's it. Maybe I didn't explain it. You see, first of all, when it goes inside, and I shake it up and down, and I do this, now before you were watching the cup, which is all right.
Yes.
But if you watch here, then you can't watch over here. But see, that doesn't mean much, but it looks sort of classy.
Clever, yeah.
And then the ball jumps back under the cup, which is the whole idea, you see.
Well, that's marvelous.
Now, this is where the game starts. You ready?
Yes.
Good. First of all, when I put it in the cup and shake it up and down and do this, now, first of all, maybe I didn't put it in my pocket. It could still be under there, right?
Watch how he handles her.
Or I could have put it in my pocket,
Yeah.
right? Where do you think it is, just guessing, under the cup or in my pocket? Where do you think?
In my pocket?
My pocket?
Well, it could be. It's not there. You see, but if you say it's in your pocket, then it's under the cup. I can't take a chance. See, it's heavy. Listen,
Oh, that's
but you see, actually, you can't win. Thank you. See, actually, you can't win because when I put it in my pocket and I say, where is it? If you say it's here, then I say it's over here. But if you say it's in my pocket, then it's under the cup. I'm working with two.
Oh, really?
One's bigger than the other, but you have to let go of it. Otherwise, it's no good. Would you pick the ball up in your own hand? Does it feel solid?
Fairly, yes.
It does?
Extremely, yes.
How come two of them fit under there then? Well, I don't understand this at all. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, there you go. Don Allen is one of the masters. This is going to be our first lesson of the day. The man that you just watched is responsible for some of the most popular routines that have withstood the test of time for the better part of 60, 70 years. One of my favorite tricks, the invisible deck, was certainly popularized by Don Allen, and I'm quite sure that if he did not perform that on the Ed Sullivan Show in the 50s, maybe no one does the chop cup in the 2000s. I do see chat here. Marty's mentioning Paul Daniels. We talked about Paul Daniels before the stream. He got bumped because Don Allen, right? So when I was going to showcase a guy, I had to showcase the guy. Now, let's talk a little bit about the history of chop cup besides Don Allen. Here's some history. It was brought to market by Al Wheatley in the late 50s. I'm sure this is where Don Allen got it, and then he brought it to television. And it predates that by about 250 years when Jacques Ozanam, he described it in a French book, a recreational mathematics book. And they didn't use the method that we're going to describe today. The method that they used was wax and muddle or mutton, I don't know, some old stuff. Sticky things that would cause a ball to stick in the top of the cup. But today we're talking about, the use of magnets, and we have to start there as we talk about the chop cup. I understand that I have some advanced practitioners who know about these things. Some of my novice students don't. So we'll start rudimentary here. Embedded in every chop cup is a magnet. So this is a leather one. This is the TCC chop cup. I'll showcase a couple of these in just a moment, but embedded in this leather chop cup is a magnet. These balls that I'm using here, these are the Leo Semesters Monkey Fist balls. And this one has a magnet embedded in it, which means that ball will stay in the cup when it just stays in there. You put the cup down with some force, the ball dislodges and makes its appearance. And that's what a chop cup is. David O's ready he's ready to go into the deep end already. I did not. We're going to close with my chop cup routine, and that'll be in about 6 or 7 minutes, guessing. I am going to discuss some Larry Jennings stratagems, but I think it's worth discussing that if you review that Don Allen routine, this thing is almost self-working, relying simply on this moment of dropping the ball into the cup and then doing this. And then apparently taking the ball, but nothing is there because the chop cup is in work and that ball sticks. So this is a way of doing a false transfer with no skill. You can review Don Allen's thing. He does this 2 or 3 times. And then while the ball is in the pocket, now sometimes he'll introduce the regular ball in his pocket, but at an opportune moment, he simply grabs the big ball that is in the pocket where that ball is. And then after showing the ball has made its return, here's a good tip. And I'm working on an extra bouncy surface here. A worker's tip. When you put the chop cup down, don't set it down flat. You want to aim the chop cup at an angle as it hits the table. This will cause the ball to ricochet on its way down as opposed to bouncing upward. to bouncing upward. Guys, I see your questions like, do I know the one, Chop Cup by Axel Hexlau? I'm familiar, but I don't know. Tell you what, we'll do Q&A after I run through the gamut of what I want to do here. We'll get some of your questions in. But putting the Chop Cup down at an angle will make the ball ricochet on its way down, and it won't bounce back up into the cup. So there's your worker tip. Anyway, after revealing the ball, this is where the audience attention comes. This is where you come in with your secret load ball, and that is the basics of the Chop Cup routine. You get your cup with a magnet in it. You can even make your own, and then learn that false placement, and then a little simple timing, and you'll be fooling people too. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. First, let me give you some of the Chop Cups that I've been working with recently. And as mentioned, this is the TCC Cup. I do want to note that when I got my TCC Cup, the balls that came with it, and they're beautiful balls, they're nice leather baseballs, but the magnet on the chop is very light. It barely holds it in there. So I had to spend money researching balls. So I did that. I'll show you what I researched. These are good. These are the Leo Semesters, S-M-E-S-T-E-R, Semesters Monkey Fist balls. I ultimately settled on these. And as I introduce these, this is an Ickle Pickle Pocket Chop Cup, a little small one. So these are Leo's handcrafted leather baseballs. They bounce. I love these things. I use them with my regular cup and ball work, and the magnets on these leave nothing to be desired. So we're going to use these later when I talk about my Chop Cup routine, but if you're looking for some good Chop Cup balls, Leo Semesters gets my vote. You'll find most of them will ship with something like this, which is serviceable. I think I got these balls, one magnet, one not, with this little Ickle Pickle Chop Cup. Although sometimes Chop Cups shipped with interesting different things, I'm going to bring your attention to one of my favorite recent products. I love this set. The Amazing Coffee Cups and Beans. This is an Adam Wilbur release, Vulpine Creations. And this set contains, and I hope I'm not releasing too much of the cat out of the bag, it has three coffee cups. It has a lot of stuff, actually, but the coffee cups that it comes with are chop cups. They're all chop cups. It also includes some little coffee beans. And yes, the coffee beans are chopped as well. So as mentioned, you get three of these, and the things that you can do with a set like this, having three chop cups and three, well, you get the idea. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg for the Adam Wilbur release, and I look forward to bringing my rendition of this routine to you soon, but I have to make sure that I get it right because it's an important piece to me. So, Adam, if you're watching this, I'm practicing, just not ready yet because we care. We care to get these things right. All right. We looked at some cups. We looked at some balls. We got the history. I do want to give some advanced students, some of the readers, a little bit of extra things to look at. Certainly, if you're interested in Don Allen, you'll want to, there it is, look at this book written by one of my mentors, John Ruckerbaumer. This is in a class by himself, Don Allen, and this is all of Don's working routines, all the jokes, dissected to the second. Highly recommended. One of my favorite Ruckerbaumer books. And then if you want to go further down the rabbit hole, well, here's some guys, some Chop Cup guys that you might want to Google. Put in the Conjuring Archive. Did you watch the tutorial yesterday? The lesson on where to learn magic? Maybe you go type in Donnie Tong and see what comes up. Donnie Tong Chop Cup. I'm going to talk about one thing by this guy on the bottom here, Larry Jennings. Larry Jennings. I did want to share one bit of Chop Cup information that I think is super valuable that you don't see anyone do these days. We'll call this the Jennings Gambit. The Jennings Gambit, which uses a shot glass and a handkerchief. Ooh, look at the fun here. Look at the fun. Yeah, Danny Tongs, let's definitely, I think if you're going to research a working routine, that one gets the vote. Okay, David O's pitching in. Tannins has some good final loads. And that's the comment I was looking for. Yeah, y'all go support Tannins, one of the oldest magic shops in the country. All right, the Jennings Gambit from I learned this in, I think, what was the name of this book? Larry Jennings on card and coin handling. Was this in that book? I think it was. It's in the classic Magic of Larry Jennings too. Larry would cover he would cover a shot glass with a handkerchief and then propose to make an expansion of texture, which I'm sure he got from Vernon. We're going to do an expansion of texture, like Houdin did. And we're going to make the ball sink like it goes through a castle wall. I can't let you see this because it's bad for the eyes, but it's going to pass right through. I'm just going to skip the jokes. It's done. The ball has left the building, traveling. Okay, well, truth be told, I don't practice that one. Hold on a sec. Mecca hi, mecca hiney ho. Mecca hi, mecca jomby ho. And voila, the ball has returned as promised back into the shot glass. And as this moment gets his finale, we do get confirmation that it is. Yes, it's still working. I still got it in there. I read that book back in that must have been 85. I bought that book at Haynes House of Cards in Cincinnati. So here it is, another wonderful moment. Now, as I talk about the Jennings routine, and I'm not going to give the whole skit up here, but I want to note that Jennings would hide his load balls in not just his pockets, but also in the bag where the cups come from. And then it was just hanging out over here. So he's got the load hanging out. I'm not sure of the exact sequence, but look how this works to your advantage. And it just works, right? You get the idea. You got to have the right size props, but the ball goes on top. The magnet does its thing. So now, yeah, it's up there, right? It's up there. But don't tell anyone that. Then you say the ball, and then you act like you lost it. What? And you're looking for it. Now just put the ball with some force over the chop cup. That'll bring it back down. Now look what you can do. You have this handkerchief in your hand. So now you have all kinds of extra cover after this makes its reveal to maybe steal a final load from that bag. And you hide it behind the handkerchief, which gives you all kinds of cover to load that secret thing in there before it makes its reveal. And that's probably more than I need to talk about for the Jennings routine. So, hey, hope some of that information suits you well. All right, we're rolling in here to the finale as I'm going to debut my newest endeavors with the Chop Cup routine. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a fan of performing these loads, and I wasn't a fan of filming this, but I filmed this routine. I put it on the Shorts platform. You may have seen it, you may not. You're going to see it now. Let's take a look at my current advances. And let me just answer this real quick, Phoenix. I don't have the Chop Cup balls. I would say go to Vanishing Ink. They carry them. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Good point, Marty. Yeah, Jennings opens his routine by producing. Oh, that's a different routine. That's scratch that. Larry Jennings has a 1-cup, 3-ball sleight of hand routine. And that is the routine where he produces the cup, he produces the balls, he produces a load ball, and then everything sequentially vanishes. That's a masterpiece. Wow, I forgot about that one. So yeah, that's going to be Jennings' idea. All right. Yeah, now we know more than we even needed to know. More than more. You're quite welcome, bud. Hey, open note to the India folks, if you're watching. September is going to be early stream month. I'm not doing 4:00 streams. I'm going to do morning practice sessions. So in September, the live events are going to be, hey, have coffee and practice some moves with me. I see it. I just want to talk about cups and balls now. You guys are distracting me. Hey guys, here is my newest Chop Cup routine. Can we hear this? Hold on.
As we call it.
Hold on.
Now, you should not be surprised to discover the best technique for this cup and ball mystery is to use an extra ball, or as we call it in the business, the one-ahead principle. It's this technique that will allow me to sneak the ball back under the cup, although sometimes I will use the extra cup for that. In doing so, it's quite the same as I just pretend to put that ball away, but it's just pretend, and then I can use the extra ball to make it look like magic. From there, all you need is a big finish. I suggest you just play with them a little bit. When you play with them, they do get bigger. That's the first one, that's the second one, and that's the trick. Is there any questions?
Any questions? Any questions? All right. John made it. We didn't have to wait today. Hey, Radioactive, we leave these things up. You can watch it after the stream. Boing. I don't know the Bollinger Cup. That's the wrong camera, Doug. All right, let's take a look. Thank you. But only you. Let's take a look at what I did here with this thing. Take a note also this cup, which I like a lot because you can use a small cup. You can use a small cup and affect a big load. In other words, in the real world, this is a golf ball size. So if I'm using a pocket-sized chop cup, well, now my load balls, which will fill the chop cup, don't need to be like an 8-ball, right? They don't need to be big and heavy. They can be a smaller object, but still provide that big impact. So, hey, if you're looking to do a chop cup routine, consider a smaller size. They play great, and they're good for doing strolling and walk around, much more serviceable than one of the larger chop cups. So, again, this is the Ickle Pickle chop cup. This is the aluminum one. A serviceable variant might be the Morrissey variety. They're about the same thing. And this is the TCC chop cup. And a happy discovery was that thing fits right inside there. I don't need to squeeze it, although I do when I'm working because it is leather. It provides some advantages. It really just does stick up there. And then, yeah, when you have the chop ball in there as well, now everything is ready to go inside the cups. Now, I'm quite sure that you could secretly load this on the fly, but when I started the routine, I did so in this fashion. I had one of the balls inside the cup. So here's my starting position. Let's keep this simple. Inside the cup was a ball with the small chop cup, the big chop cup, and then a red regular ball. Now, when I started the short, note that I did this. So you can see inside the cup, but just barely. In my right hand, I have a ball, an alternative color, palmed secretly as I introduce the routine. Now, if you're doing this in the real world, you just go in your bag, palm this ball, bring out the cup, and you go, hey, I'm going to show you a trick with a ball and a cup. A ball and a cup. Now, when you introduce this ball in the cup, your first goal is going to be to secretly load this ball inside the cup after the red ball is revealed. So after you dump the red ball on the table, put the cup into this hand where you have the ball palmed. And then as you set the cup on the table, we're going to drop the ball and set the cup on top of it. So the first surprise that the audience gets is that we use an extra ball. And here we can just lift the cup, the chop cup's doing its thing, and everything is there. Surprise number one. Oh, there's a good point. I didn't mention Regal. Yes, David Regal has an entire cups and balls routine, and he uses chop cup balls to hold plastic cups to the top of the cup. And I'm quite sure that without David Regal, I'm not going down this rabbit hole, but it is a little bit different, just a little bit different. I've used that Regal idea in other routines, but here we are. We've just revealed this extra ball. This stuff is secretly hanging out in the cup. And it's at this point that I go into my pocket, and as I put the ball away, I'm showing nothing under the cup. I set the cup down with some force to dislodge the ball that's in there, and it's at this point that I am squeezing the cup. That's so that the extra cup does not make a premature exposure. Also, at this point in my pocket, I'm palming the 8-ball, which I'm going to load into the big cup. And I do that after the little cup makes its appearance. I just set the cup down with some force. That'll dislodge it. And as that cup makes its appearance, it's at that point that I'm going to load the 8-ball, and I just bring the cup to meet the hand, and as it goes to the table, I set it down. So now this cup is preloaded secretly with the 8-ball inside, and I bring the audience attention to this situation, and now I'm going to do the Don Allen sequence where I pretend to put the ball in my pocket. I can show them the ball that's already in the pocket, but it's just hanging out in the top of the cup. Shaky, shaky, shake. Boom. Put this in the pocket, palm the other load, and then as this ball makes its reappearance, that's when we're able to secretly load the second ball. All that's left is the denouement. Build your excitement, reveal the first one, reveal the second one, and then take your applause. Here, I'll do an applause cue. You guys can clap at home. Maybe you just like the video. Just hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Appreciate it. So this is my current chop cup routine. Now, I mentioned this. While I perform this in less than a minute, in fact, I think it's 40 seconds, this is so modular that you could add the parts that make this up and do an extended 2 or 3 minute sequence where we add some of the pieces of this puzzle into a routine that works for you. Maybe in the future, after I've curated this a little more, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at returning to the street, to doing some more street performing and audience testing some of the things that I've been concocting in the magic cave over the summer. We'll bring that out to some live audiences. I will be appearing at the Louisiana State Fair. If you're in Louisiana, mid-October through early November, 3 weeks of live performances there. People always ask where they can come see me. Well, you can come see me there. And yeah, Marty's right. You work the silk in. All of this, look what we have today. We have a modular toolkit of chop cup information that hopefully beginners and maybe experienced viewers alike will be able to piece together some stuffs for you. And it's at this point, we're going to take just a couple of questions before I get ready to go see Lyle Lovett. Here's the first one. Could I do a tutorial on the double lift? So, I could. I won't be doing it today. When I think about things I want to do, double lift tutorials are not too exciting because you can get so many double lift tutorials. This is the TCC chop cup. TCC, where can you get it? Wow, that's a good question. Not sure. Not sure. Aaron, what's up? Good to see you. Glad you enjoyed it. Oh, there's a good one too. Jiggernaut. Whoops. Jiggernaut. I have played with it. Another routine that I'd love to perform on the Shorts platform. I'll tell you the one that interests me. There's a set that produces a liquid load. So it's a chop cup that at the finale of the routine, you pour a shot of liquid out of the cup. And this is the one I'm interested in more than any other. You gonna be there? Is that your neck of the woods? It's in Shreveport, Louisiana is where I'll be. Ah, birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Smesters, Smesters. They're not cheap. They're worth it. So, Mark, I don't post the schedule, and as I get older and more interested in online work, I'm out there less and less. Here's the schedule. If the weather is good on a weekend, I'm out there early. I generally set up about 9 or 10 in the morning, and then I'll work till about 1 or 2. You can always email me, and I'll let you know. conjure@gmail.com. Yep. A chop cup is great. Great. It's better than the cups, I think. Cosmo uses it to close his show. He's one of the biggest earners of all time and one of the greatest street performers of all time. Yeah, go find Cosmo doing the chop cup. Thank you, Cosmo. South Louisiana. Yeah, so this fair's in Shreveport. Jacob, I see you. I mean, I hope you can find something else that makes your day besides that, but there you go. Yeah, olives. Those are good. Use an olive instead of a ball. And then you use a coffee bean maybe, and now you're not using magic props. Olive is a great idea. You can get a chopped olives. So Phoenix, that's how the French did it in the 1700s. I'm not advocating sticky stuff, but probably. I'll tell you the most interesting alternative, in my opinion, is to use a magnet outside of the cup. So instead of a magnet that's embedded inside the cup, you have maybe a magnet ring. And now you use perhaps a dollar bill with a rolled up. Go look at Chop by Craig Petty. There's a good alternative. Okay, Matthew, but you're on double secret probation now. Enjoyed your stream the other night, young man. You should be proud of your endeavors. Yes, we did talk about Paul Daniels earlier. He got cut thanks to Don Allen. Paul Daniels, in my opinion, is really the only man who should do Paul Daniels' routine. It's very idiosyncratic. It's very confusing. And like the magic I do, it's not advocated for others. Do your own thing. And yeah, no one suspects the olives. Yep, I got Svengali decks at conjure.com. Boink, 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 boink for all your magic needs. I'm waiting for you there. Magnetic rings are actually quite inexpensive. If you Google it, you'll find they're reasonably priced these days. They used to be really pricey. Yes, that's what you get, man. Timing is everything. I'm putting you on probation. Wait, I can't do that. Back to school week's ending. Everyone's off probation. It's time for a recess, folks. I said a half hour. I'm a minute overdue. I think all that's left now is to say thank you again for spending some of my time with me. I hope you enjoyed back to school week. I put it all in a playlist. If you missed any of the episodes, go look at them. If you enjoy them, do the algorithm things. Thank you for that. And yeah, that's a wrap for the event and a wrap for this stream. Thanks for hanging out, you guys, and I will see you next week. We got one more live stream this month, Wednesday, 4 p.m., and then things change. Au revoir.